Here we are, Wine and Wellness EP number 6. It's great to be here. It's great to be back on the podcast with you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like always, Wine and Wellness here at Casks Flights. I always give a little history about wine and wellness. It's mostly about exercising, and then also about the well-being of humans, of people, just people living their life today, after COVID, before COVID, just checking on people, and then we kind of bring guests on and we talk to them about different things that might be in the wellness side of their lives and what they do. A lot of people have changed their lives. A lot of people done a lot of things, open up businesses for the betterment of wellness and stuff like that. So that's kind of what we're centered around. Me myself started the wine and wellness thing just working out. We were just working out in the park with Chris and Larry, LB, and it kind of evolved. So we're doing that. Now we're sitting here at a podcast, and it's just been good. It makes me feel good. It helps me open up. Helps me open up and talk to people and talk to my audience about things that's got, it may have them down or may have them up. So I'm glad to be able to do it. We got the holidays approaching, and a lot of people are going to be doing the eating thing and the giving thing and the cheerful thing. Last year wasn't so much of it, gathering wise, but this year we're gathering pretty good, I'd say. So I feel good. I feel good going into the holidays. But I wanted to talk to you guys today on this episode about vegan or plant-based. Is that the question? So I have invited Marni, who is the owner of Asher Bees and the owner of Busy Bee Mercantile store. Now, Marni and I, we have history. We go back middle school,
Yeah.
high school,
Yeah.
friends. We've always been, close enough to talk to each other when we see each other, and just growing up and doing different things. And it's just, it's good to see her flourishing and doing what she does. I mean, I'm excited to hear the backstory on it because, when people in high school, you looking at them like, okay, well, all right, but everybody has, those growing things, and they kind of come together, and they learn a lot about themselves as they grow. I know I have, and we're here now. I mean, I'm blessed to say that I'm here now.
We made it.
I did. I made it. I mean, goodness. So, I mean, Marni, just tell us a little bit about you and your business a little bit. Just we're gonna get into it, but just introduce yourself.
I'm Marni. Marni. Everybody knows me as Marni. The
Yeah.
tea lady.
Yeah.
Asher and B is my baby there. That's my first. I just say this was my first business on the other side. As I've been an entrepreneur for probably about 15, 20 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I say the other side, I mean I left one business, totally did a career change,
Yeah.
and now I have the tea house, which is plant medicine and tea,
Wow.
and then we have the Busy Bee Mercantile, which is we do a vegan cafe,
Yeah.
plant-based whole food cafe.
Goodness.
And
It's good too, y'all. I'm telling you. She
Yeah.
cooking in there for real.
Not me, chef is cooking. I do cook sometimes when chef is out of town. I have to
Chef.
cook.
Okay.
Yeah, but when chef is gone, just leave explicit instructions
That's
for
right.
me.
I love it.
And then I cook. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then and we're a green grocery store. So you can come in and get green groceries. That means just whole foods, lots of fruits, different types of vegetables.
Right.
And then it was kind of like a community space. We
Yeah.
had lots of regulars and people come and gather, and it's really nice.
Yeah, and you do a little sidewalk sale sometimes.
Yeah,
at
sometimes we
the
have
store?
a market.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't had a market in a while. I've been
Okay.
doing other markets and doing other stuff.
Right.
And so, but we sell plants in
Mm-hmm.
there. Yeah, we have a new menu we're rolling out in December. We start brunch on Saturdays
Oh,
in
wow.
December. Yeah, so we're excited. Yeah.
Man,
We're
the smoothies
moving
are
on
good. I
up.
mean,
Yeah.
me and my girlfriend, we rode our bikes down and one Saturday, and we had a smoothie or something in there. It was just good. I mean, we bought some coffee. You know, you go
Yeah.
in there. It's one of those stores you go in and you're looking around and you like, you didn't go in there to buy anything. You didn't. But
You're like, what
you
is
looking around
this?
and they got cookies laying out. I mean, they got all the fixings and stuff going on, and you're like, well, I do
Yes.
need some of this. Well, I do need to pick this up. Oh, what is this coffee?
There
They
you
let you
go.
taste the coffee, and then it's like,
Yes.
it's that Saturday morning thing that
Yes.
people do on
Yes.
Saturdays. So I love it. I love it. I also shop down at the Asher B's. I
Yeah.
haven't been there in a minute, but you can get your what is it? CMOS, tinctures. I mean,
Yeah.
male. They have male enhancements for the
Yes,
men
for
now. Look,
libido,
listen.
all that. We can help you out.
Whew, we turning 40 now. You guys, y'all got to try to figure it out. They got stuff out there for you. You might as well do it the healthy way, right? I mean, go ahead and go on in there. Don't be shy.
Don't
She
be
already know what
shy.
you're in there for.
Yeah.
When you walk in, oh yeah, it's just right over there to the left. So I mean, but definitely check her out. I mean, if you got some stuff that's ailing you,
Yeah.
and some things, and you don't want to take all these medicines that some doctors prescribe, and your body is an organ that pretty much is self-sustained. It's supposed to self-heal, and if you can put some good things in your body to
Help it
kind of
do
help
it,
that
yeah.
with your
Yeah.
and I think that's the best way. I mean, ultimately, I mean, sometimes you need a little help,
Yes.
with some prescribed medicines, but
And herbs can help
and
with
herbs.
they're designed to work. Herbalism is it's not really meant to make you get rid of all of your medicines. It's to help you with the side effects of those medicines
Got
and
you.
work your way off the ones that you can work your way off of.
Right,
So that you
right.
don't get like liver, kidney problems from taking it for a long time. So
I got you.
yeah.
I got you. No,
Mhm.
that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good. Man, look. See, we already into it. We already into
Yeah.
it. So let's talk about some wine real quick. Let's talk
Okay.
about what you Okay, I have you
So
drinking.
you gave me a red wine that's
Mhm.
sweet, and I like it. I think you called it a Shiraz.
It's a sweet Shiraz.
Uh-huh.
It's jam jar. It's
I
it's
knew
a
I tasted berries.
It's actually a South African it's a
Ooh.
South African wine,
Okay.
yeah, and it's
Yeah.
sweet over there, and we keep that one. That's another one that everybody enjoys because it's not sweet,
Yeah.
but it gives you just that
Yeah.
sweetness and that
I
dryness.
like the name Jam Jar because
It's
I could
good.
see that being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can leave with a bottle. I usually give the guests a bottle, so you'll leave here with a bottle
Listen,
of it.
okay.
Definitely. But I'm drinking the Prisoner. So the Prisoner
Ooh.
is another line of wine that I carry here, and I like it. It's more like a Zen. It's a blend.
Okay.
And
So does that mean
we
it's
carry it.
drier because it's a
It's
Zen?
drier. It's a dry Zen.
I'm learning a little bit, even
You
though I
doing
don't
good.
drink
You doing
a
good.
lot of wine.
I need to just come over there and do a little wine class. We could kind of do a wine.
I know how to
and-
make wine. I make country wine. We have a wine class coming up where we're teaching people how to make because I'm from Tennessee, so
Okay.
we do like the old fashioned country. Throw everything in a bucket, ferment.
I need to come to that. I mean, that drinking wine and making it. I need to come to that.
But that's my extent. Is
Yeah.
the country wine.
And nothing wrong with it. I mean, we got guys in prison making wine, so I know. I'm just saying.
Hence the
just-
Prisoner.
Hence the Prisoner. He probably made. Let's say, it doesn't taste like prison, but
That's good. I'm glad you. I mean, I hope you don't know, but
no, I don't. I don't. Listen. We're not gonna do it, right? Well, look. So we're talking about vegan and plant-based.
Mhm.
So, what's your opinion on plant-based versus vegan? What would you say?
Well, veganism, they're both lifestyles.
Mhm.
The thing is that veganism is a little. They all have differences. So I'll give you the differences. Veganism is very much concerned with animal exploitation. Nothing with a face. So there's no meat, there's no dairy, there's no honey. An ethical vegan doesn't eat honey.
Wow.
Because it'd be a bumblebee.
Gotcha.
And then usually it has to also do with lifestyle. So usually it's gonna incorporate, like, they're gonna use vegan soaps, vegan deodorants. Everything is gonna be, no face, nothing.
So so those are true vegans. They
usually, yeah.
Yeah.
And the difference is, though, they won't exploit the animal. They won't eat the animal. They'll eat processed foods.
Gotcha.
Right. So there might be, like, if you go in the store now, there's a huge push towards vegan foods, or foods that have no meat in their substitutes, but they're, like, highly processed.
Gotcha.
And so vegans will eat highly processed as well. Whereas someone who is plant-based, they will also eat highly processed foods. They might also eat some dairy. They might also eat limited amounts of meat. But usually they're just very low on meat.
Right.
And they don't care about it being processed either. And there's not anything to do with a lifestyle.
Got you.
Now, there's what's called a whole foods plant-based.
Whole foods.
And so I think that's where people are like, okay, there's a difference there, where a whole food plant-based person, they're not going to do any oils. They're not going to do, they're not going to do any processed things, no processed foods.
Right.
Everything is going to be, like,
whole food.
fresh,
whole.
Fresh. Right.
Goodness.
Plant-based. It has nothing to do with a lifestyle, so they might wear, leather or whatever. It's what they consume that makes the difference.
Gotcha.
So veganism is a lifestyle that can extend out to the products that you put in your home, the clothes that you wear. Plant-based means I plan my meals around plants.
Gotcha.
I might eat, a pescatarian could be considered plant-based if they just eat a little bit of salmon on the weekend or whatever. Right.
Okay. Okay.
A whole food plant-based person, though, that's the difference. They're the ones that there's no processed food. There's no oils. Vegans eat oils. Plant-based people, they might eat oils, but whole food plant-based, there's no oils, things like that.
I got you. So I before our podcast, I kind of try to educate myself a little bit. That way I can kind of know exactly what's going on and what we're talking about during the podcast. And, I was listening to one of them, and they were just kind of talking about how some of the utensils you use or you cook with, some of them, like, it's even down to that. Like, you're getting some of those.
Vegans are going to use mostly, like, bamboo, like wooden bowl. They're very conscious.
Wow.
Excuse me, not vegans. Well, yes, vegans.
Yeah.
The only thing about it is that with veganism, the fact that, like, the trend towards veganism will have people going to the store and buying all these processed foods, and that's not healthy. That's why you can have an unhealthy vegan. Right.
Gotcha.
Because they might eat a substitute for we get the tofurkey and stuff like that.
Oh.
But it's processed.
Right.
So you get all the unhealthy
all
additives
the sodium
in it.
and everything that they put in and stuff like that.
So those things aren't right.
So you got to watch that when it comes to your health
too,
and stuff, because it has a lot of sodium and stuff like that.
So a whole foods plant-based person could be healthier than a vegan, depending on what the vegan's eating. The vegan, they are more concerned with exploitation of the food.
I understand. I see. What do you more identify with?
So what I do is I practice vegan eating during the week, because I'm in a vegan store, and then I do eat salmon, like a little bit of protein. But I like seafood. I stay away from as much chicken and red meat as I can. I've been learning too myself, because understanding that the whole food processed plant-based is quite healthy. Actually, my daughter and I, we discuss a lot of things, because she's learning to heal herself with food and medicine.
Right.
And we were discussing how, a lot of times with meat eaters,
Mm-hmm.
especially in America, we tend to eat the most fatty, muscly parts
Oh
of the
man,
food.
I like a good ribeye. Goodness, it's got enough fat on there. I be running that chewing on that fat like, man, I should just go and take this out of my mouth.
And that's the problem with the meats. You have to eat the leaner portions of the meat. You have to eat the ones that are grass-fed, not organic, and so on and so on, if you're going to consume meat that way or on a consistent basis.
I got you.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned something about your daughter. Now, when we talked, when you first opened up, you were down here by the Palafox house.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, what led you? And you mentioned that, your daughter, she had something going on with her skin, I think.
Yes.
And you started to kind of research that a little bit.
We have been battling with eczema since she was 6 months.
I could not think of eczema.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of it. I'm like, what is that with the skin? I couldn't think of it, right.
She had been battling eczema since she was 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm a mom and taking her to the pediatrician, and they're giving her steroids and all this kind of stuff.
They love to give out
cream.
steroids.
Right.
Why do they like to give steroids the first thing come out? They just like to give steroids to people. I'm like, I don't need no steroids.
Right. I don't need that. And so, cause it's really a quick fix. I think it is. As I sit here and I share this conversation with one of my colleagues on how we as society have asked for things to happen quickly. So doctors, they're giving you that to quickly heal the symptom. And so we fast forward, her prolonged use of atopical steroids can lead to cataracts, retina detachment. And so when she was 12, she developed cataracts in 2 eyes, in both of her eyes, and she couldn't see. And so they sent us to the eye doctor right here, and they were wondering if it was cancer. Like, they couldn't figure out why she had developed these cataracts at such a young age. And we ended up going, finally, after about a year, we were able to get to a specialist. And the specialist was like, he immediately looked at her. And he looked at her skin. He said, "Oh, she has eczema. He says, discontinue your steroid use." And I was like, "Excuse me?"
I know, right?
I was like, "What?"
That's what's
right.
That's
it,
her.
right. And he could see I was getting upset. He was like, "Okay, just sit down, calm down." And he was like, "Just Google eczema and retina detachment and steroids. Goodness. Those 3. You got to Google those 3 together.
All together.
Right." And this plethora of information come up about retina detachment with prolonged use of steroids, topical steroids. And so she ended up having to have double eye surgery. When she was 13. And so now she has a permanent bifocal in her eye, and she has to wear glasses for the rest of her life. And after all of that, in the recovery, this is 13-year-old, she just tells me, she says, "I'm not taking medicine ever again." And I was like,
wouldn't either.
I was like,
I'm not
well,
going to a doctor no more. Like,
goodness,
right. Yeah.
Doctors was like traumatized for her. So trauma for her. So I had to kind of remember what my grandma used to do for us. Like, when we were younger. Yeah. And so like we had lots of conversations, and she reminded me of just some things. And I was like, well, we do this all the time, And then it made me lead to doing more research. You're empowered when you learn,
Definitely.
And we find out that, eczema, the symptoms of it, there's something underlying there. And a lot of it has to do with digestion, the foods that we eat, the processed foods that we eat.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so she's cut like down so much. And healed herself. Her skin looks amazing.
Man, she does look good.
Yeah, and I'm so proud of her. Because it was rough for a long time.
Man, that's so good.
Yeah,
and she know how to make some cookies, y'all.
She did.
Let me tell you something.
That's my oldest daughter that makes the cookies.
Oh, okay.
But the middle daughter, that's the one who I'm talking about. She's been making cookies too. Cookies. So I'm like, oh yes.
Telling you, if anybody knows me, I eat a chocolate chip cookie.
Oh my goodness.
I will. Well, man, that's I'm so glad to hear that, and I'm glad you were able to share that with everybody today. People, they need to hear that. They
Yeah.
need to hear, there's other ways,
Yeah.
before and then they may not have known because I didn't know about,
Mhm.
steroids having that effect, that
Yeah,
side effect.
topical
Mm-hmm.
steroids, which also means, if you're continuously ingesting them,
Right.
like even with asthma, the
Mm-hmm.
pump,
Mm-hmm.
you're depending on that pump, it's scarring your
Your
lung
lungs.
tissues and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
there's ways to help with that too, with
Yeah.
your breathing and in
Man.
asthma. So
Man, yeah. Well, man, I'm just glad that she's doing better.
yeah, she is.
Yeah,
I'm very
that's
happy.
so wonderful. Well, do you back to the cooking side of it
Mhm.
of some of the stuff. So a lot of this, you got CBD out there. You
Yeah.
got a lot of things with and it's plant based. Cannabis. Let's just say. So, do you cook? Do you cook like for fun? I'm not saying you can do that at the busy bee. I'm just saying, like, do you
I
use
cook with
certain
cannabis.
things? Okay,
Yes.
that was my question.
I cook with cannabis.
Uh-huh.
I have learned that cannabis, or I feel like cannabis is very much so a miracle drug,
Mm-hmm.
which we've known for a long time now.
Yeah.
It's not just relaxation, but there's other things that come with using cannabis.
Right.
And so, yeah, I have my little
Yeah.
events.
I mean, I understand. I'm glad you
Yeah,
have it. I need to sit
mhm.
in on one of them.
Yes.
I got a little something going on back here that might use some cannabis attention. Need some
Yeah,
cannabis attention,
yeah.
but yeah, with
Dr. CB, he believed in marijuana use oil.
Yeah.
He did a lot of, when you go to see him, they don't talk about it a lot because, in that day, marijuana hasn't been popularized as it is now with
Right.
legalization.
Mm-hmm.
But he believed in that too, with helping people through situations.
That's
Mhm.
good. That's
Yeah.
good. I mean, I believe in it.
Yeah.
I'll be glad when some things come a little bit more forthcoming
Me
with
too.
here in Florida with it. And I mean, here in Casks Flights,
Yeah.
we just introduced our CBD frosés. So
Nice.
y'all be on the lookout for a little CBD frosés.
Yeah.
This weekend at Gallery Night, y'all come in and try a little bit of
Yay.
it.
So
So
they can
we
sleep on the floor out here.
yeah, we just want you to relax the way you can't move. You can't
You
leave.
you can't
leave. You just got drinks and you just we just come keep giving you drinks. Something like that. But no, so yeah, a lot of people using cannabis now for a
Mhm.
lot of different reasons. And you said, did you use it in oils and you have like
Yeah,
some
I
oil
use it.
stuff?
I use it topically.
Yeah.
I ingest it. I cook
Mhm.
with it.
Yeah.
I take a bath in it. I
Man,
do everything with
that's
it.
what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Do we smell like weed when like we using it topical, right? So it's
No,
like,
you don't
man, you
smell
walk
like
by
that.
somebody,
You
you
don't
like,
smell like that.
man, he smell good, or she smell,
You smell
man.
good.
Yeah.
You don't smell like
So we put a little
a plant.
lavender in there.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
I like it. Man, I gotta stop by the store, y'all. I gotta go and pay her a
No.
visit. She said no.
It's not in the store.
It's not in the store. Hit her on the you got a DM on the direct message.
Yes.
Listen.
We'll talk about it.
So we also have, with getting back to food and stuff like that, we got do you see a lot of controversial issues with the vegan? Just vegan people, not the people that say they're vegan, but then you got the real vegans, like you
Yeah,
say the
because
ones.
like I see, especially in our town, and
Mhm.
like I think there's like a vegan gang here or something.
That's why I was right.
And I don't know what these people think are going on, because like I see them like, yeah, vegan this, vegan that, and then they're pulling like, oh, I found this on sale, and it's all this processed shit. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so confused. Like,
I think a lot of people are.
right.
I think a
like,
lot of people.
So are you saying you're vegan because you love animals and you don't want them to be exploited? Are you saying that this is healthy, this gardenia all
Right.
the time? I think that's the part that kills me, because there's almost like an air like I'm healthier than you because I'm vegan, and yet I don't even understand what that means completely. I'm
Yeah.
not practicing
Right.
complete veganism. So versus saying you're vegan, say you're plant-based.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Now,
yeah.
do you see, like, when you say that, like, using a plant-based, being more plant-based, So me, like I said, I try to educate myself, and I'm listening, and it's like a lot of some people are saying like, okay, don't identify as vegan then. If you're
Don't.
gonna
I
do this,
agree.
just
I agree. Just say why do we have to even put a title on it?
we
Like if
don't.
honestly, because veganism came from like 1944.
Okay.
And that's when it was first established. And it was literally a lifestyle and a movement to keep animals from being exploited. So
Right.
there's no leather belts, there's no leather shoes, no leather.
Right.
These are the people that are throwing paint on people's furs.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying?
That's
like
the PETA
these are
people.
real
These are PETA
vegan
people.
people.
Yeah,
Right,
I
right.
got you.
Pensacola ain't that. They
ain't
not
throwing paint on nobody.
They not pouring paint on nobody. They're not. They're just they love their animals.
Yeah.
They
They do like the animals.
Yeah, they love their
really
animals.
do like the animals.
Yeah, but as far as like the loving their insides, like that's questionable. Yeah, I said it.
That's questionable on inside.
Yeah, that's
right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
we said animals. So can you have a vegan animal? Because you have
right. I'm
cats.
confused that too. I'm confused with that too. So you love animals, you're a pet owner.
There it is. and then you have pets, and you want them to be vegan.
Yeah.
So some like their structure, the way they are as an animal, they supposed to have meat.
So if that's the case, then the people who are vegan could make sure you want to research the type of dog you get or
cat,
animal
because
or cat.
they say cats are naturally designed to eat meat. They don't have they have stuff
they're
inside
felines,
of them.
yeah.
Like a cat is
Like I've never
like
seen
a lion or tiger.
Now,
Right.
Simba,
Yeah.
he was vegan for a little while.
Okay.
Was he? Well, I think he ate Lion King. He ate the bugs. They have faces. I wonder, does that count?
They insects. That's what I'm saying. Like, animals are insects because
know.
we looking at
I don't know.
Are they insects?
They got
or animals?
faces though.
Okay, so anything with a
Vegan is
face.
anything with a face.
Well, so I was listening and I was like, man, okay, so people that are true vegans, like will they try to change their animal and make their animal a vegan, or maybe just introduce a more plant-based diet?
I don't know.
Yeah.
After as I don't like any animals hurt.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Right. No.
I'm not even like a vegan. It bothers me now.
I got you.
Yeah. Because I will eat fish.
Right.
So I don't know because I don't own pets. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think it would probably be hard for me if I was completely 100% living a vegan lifestyle.
Right.
To give my pet
meat,
which in turn would mean that they should be probably giving their pets vitamins.
There it is.
So if they're not giving their pets vitamins,
because you gotta substitute.
Gotta have some type
you
of
gotta
vitamin.
have that substitute in there, and that's what they were saying, like that. And you got the peas, pea proteins and stuff like that you can kind of supplement in for your protein and stuff like that you gotta get. Oh man, it's so much. It is so much when it comes. This
it's a lifestyle.
So
it's not something you can just jump in and say, well, I'm vegan tomorrow. It's you got to prepare, looking for what that is, and decide, is that what you're doing? Because a lot of times people are eliminating meat in 2021 for health purposes.
Right.
So if that's the case, you can't do all the processed stuff either. You have to become plant-based, whole food in order to help yourself if you're trying to heal your body.
Heal your body, yeah. That's gonna be tough. Like you've eaten meat for 50 years,
well,
and then all of a sudden
on Whole Foods, as plant-based, you can eat meat.
You can eat meat. Okay, so you just do a plant-based.
They might or they might not.
Gotcha.
I'll give you a good example. They're like people who live off grid, off gridders.
Right.
They're eating whole plant-based diets. And they might have cow, goats. They might use dairy in some type of way.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
It's still grass-fed, organic.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the difference.
I see.
Most of the time, plant-based people don't eat meat. However, you have those that do that are plant-based and whole food. Their thing
Yeah.
is nothing processed,
Mm-hmm.
no oils,
Yeah.
and it's not necessarily a lifestyle because they
Gotcha.
might wear,
They might have
leather
some
boots
leather
or
boots or
right.
something like
Mm-hmm.
that. They out there in the
Exactly.
wild. No, I
Right.
got you.
Right.
I need leather.
Their thing is
Right.
living off the land, no
Exactly.
processed foods,
Right.
that kind of thing.
Man, it's so much. It's so much.
It is.
So after last year and everything like that, and do you see a lot of people trying to eat healthier? I mean, I know I do. I see a lot of people trying to eat as they trying to stay healthy. They're also trying to eat healthier.
I think they're trying. They're attempting.
They're attempting to eat
The
healthier.
issue is thinking what we think is healthy.
Right. Right.
I was in a group at a meeting, and one of the gentlemen was talking about his business and saying how it's healthy food, it's healthy,
Right.
and he didn't understand like why he didn't have more people coming to healthy. And then as I'm listening, it's really not healthy. It's a lot of processed meats. It's deli meats,
Gotcha.
and sandwiches. You know, so like for someone who knows, you can't eat that every day.
No.
You get what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. There's a lot of sodium and
right.
stuff like that in that
Exactly.
stuff
Right.
that's really not good. It's just a lot of
So I
preservatives.
think that the thinking that you're eating healthier by making these particular choices that might be absent of meat.
Right.
However, how is it prepared? What is the,
Yeah.
So yeah, I do see an increase with people wanting to eat healthier and adopt a healthier lifestyle.
Got you.
It's just about the processes. You
Yeah.
know.
So they just really need to educate themselves a
Yeah.
little bit when
Yeah.
they say they want to eat healthier
Yeah.
and make sure that they're actually eating healthy.
Yeah.
Instead
That's why
of
at the
saying,
Busy Bee, like almost about 90% of our food is made from scratch. It's whole foods.
Right there.
Right. We do use oils, but we use a better oil when we
Gotcha.
get ready to fry. And that's where we try to offer a healthier option for people. Okay,
Gotcha.
this still, it tastes really good. It's cooked. It's a healthier option.
Yeah.
We're using black beans to make sausages and, you know what I'm saying, all kinds of
Black
stuff.
bean sausage.
Yeah, you can.
Man. Okay. No, that's good. Black bean sausage. I need to try to figure that out. Man, we almost there. We only got like two more things to go. Really, just one more thing to go, and then we wrapping it up.
Sorry, guys, it just timed out.
Oh, you good? You good?
Where you are, Brandon.
Yeah.
Good. We're almost there here. It's fantastic. This is great. This is great.
Yay.
And the audio is great. I mean, y'all, the conversation, the dialogue's good. So just hanging in. Almost there.
It's good. I'm almost out of prison. I can drink a whole bottle of that.
How can you drink a whole bottle of that? Can you taste it?
Okay, so
Or are you saying you just can't completely
I
taste
can't
it?
completely.
Okay.
Okay. No, I can't completely. I used to could taste it different, but it's just good. It's just a good wine for me. Like I guess I'm drinking it in remembrance of what it tastes like.
Okay, that's good.
Like Jesus said, drink this in remembrance of me. I said, yes, I will, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. Man. So, I guess, we're talking about the eating habits and everything like that, and that's I feel that I have started eating better, not just because of my girlfriend, because she's a pescatarian, and she doesn't eat meat, but I always lean towards the healthier side of things. I do, even though I will have a ribeye, but I don't eat steak all the time.
Yeah.
I don't eat that thing, but I still enjoy a nice soul food meal. But there are a lot of it's more of the thing for me to educate myself on it a little bit before I kind of go into it. And I know myself. I know myself as like, man, I'm gonna want some chicken. I'm gonna want a pork chop every now and then. You know, I like Waffle House, and I gotta try to change that.
It's moderation, though.
It's moderation.
That's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
we've been conditioned so much to eat this way for so long.
Mm-hmm.
The same, like we tell people, if you've gotten sick over time, it took over time.
That's right.
So it takes a little bit. That's why you just back off.
You just
things
wean yourself
slowly.
off
You wean
of it a
yourself
little
off,
bit.
and if you want it, sometimes your body knows the things that you need.
That's true.
You know, so
Yeah.
it'll tell you, hey, why am I craving this? Well,
Yeah.
you know, maybe I need to try that.
That's my body doing that with the cookies and the cakes and stuff.
No.
No.
Well, yes and no. Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
the sweets are telling you that you need some minerals in your body. You need some chromium probably.
Chromium.
In your body.
I didn't even know I had chromium. Maybe I'm lack of chromium right now. I feel
That
like
might
I need
help you.
chromium right now.
See?
So I'm gonna go get
Just
some
cookies.
sweets. I need to go get it's Thanksgiving coming up. It's some
It
sweet
is.
potato pies and
you
stuff.
can get sweet potato pie. That's why we like to give healthier options. So it's not like you can't eat the sweet potato pie.
Right.
You know, it's great if you can eat the sweet potato pie that's made without the milk and without the eggs. Right. We have one of those at the store. It tastes really good.
I'm gonna have to come by there 'cause I make sweet potato pies. I put pet milk in mine, so that's kind of like I'm not even helping vegans out. I don't know what pet milk means, and it just might be the name. But anyway, but right. So I need to come by the store, and you know, I may have to do that.
Yeah,
I may
it's
have
good,
to do
and it
that.
gives you another, option.
Yeah.
If you're, and you got to pick something. Do you want to be vegan? You want to be,
I don't know.
or you can or you don't even have to really pick anything.
Right.
You really don't have to pick anything.
Okay. I mean, I like to just have the option. Like I say, I like, like I go to your store. They got a couple other stores around town, end of the line. I had a distributor in here. We were talking about end of the line. I go down here to Four Seasons down here, and she's more of a soul food type of place that's downtown. That's really good. And I just kind of eat.
There's
eat.
nothing
So
wrong with that.
I don't think it is. I mean, like I say, I work out. So
If you feel that, this is what I tell people. How do you feel? Do you feel good? Do you feel like you're okay? What does your blood work say? Does your blood work say you're okay? Does it say your cholesterol is good?
See,
Does
now
it
she's
say-
going all into that.
If
Right,
those
so-
things are okay, then you're okay. Is what I like to get out to people and understand. And if they're not, then you can work at that. You can, you don't have to take out chicken, but if your cholesterol, if you have an issue, you can look for more whole grains and fibers that support.
All
having
black
good-
men got cholesterol issues. That's I think my dad might have gave me cholesterol. I don't know.
I don't think so.
No, probably not.
I don't think so.
I'm not gonna put that on him.
Don't do him like that.
No. Well, look, I know we got it. We coming to the end, y'all, and we've had so much fun. But what could you tell people? What would you like to tell people about just eating healthier? Is it something that you want to say, that you thought about, after you've opened up the two stores, and just something that you get a lot of questions about? Is it something you just want to maybe just look at the camera and say, hey, you guys, take it slow. Don't rush it. Don't think it's overnight.
That's exactly what I would say.
Yeah.
Is, any type of lifestyle change, you want to plan for it. You can't just say, well, I'm starting a diet on Monday. I also think it's about, one, not being too hard on yourself either. Because when you apply that pressure to yourself like that, you just kind of set yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
And then you might not try again. You know what I mean?
That's true.
I tell people, just take your time, research, find out. You don't have to commit to one thing or the other. Meghan Markle is a good example. She practices veganism. Well, she practices vegan eating during the week. And then on the weekend, she kind of wows out, do what she wants to do.
I got you.
For her, it's about, keeping a disciplined body, getting as much good stuff in as possible during the week and relaxing. That's the style that she uses. It just depends on who you are and what you have time for. The thing is, I just feel like make sure you're making time for yourself. Like, even if you just commit to, I'm going to eat one salad a day.
Right.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No iceberg, but everything else.
Romaine.
Romaine,
romaine.
right.
I
No
got you.
iceberg,
No
but
iceberg.
like
No, and that that
spinach, arugula, green,
yeah,
mixed greens.
yeah, little
Make
mixed
a nice
greens,
salad.
some little
Eat the
kale or
raw
something in
first.
there.
I actually, in the mornings, I eat a salad first.
Okay.
I've been doing that for a little while now. A friend of mine, we were discussing how you should eat the raw foods first to help with the metabolism, get
Yeah.
that body going
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
morning. So
In
I
the
do
morning.
that, and I feel good.
That's
Yeah.
why I have my shakes. The shakes
Yeah.
they give you that energy in the
Yeah.
morning.
That
They get you that good
fruit is
digestive stuff
electric,
going.
so it electrifies you.
I like the
It gives you
electric.
the energy, right?
Man,
Yeah.
I feel electric. But no, it's similar. The eating and working out is kind of similar in that respect. What you
Yeah.
said is because people want to jump out there and it's like, look,
Yeah.
it's a lifestyle change when
It
you
is.
start working out, and you gotta just take it slow. You know, you're not gonna jump out there and I have people
Arnold
come up to me.
tomorrow.
Yeah, they come out to me, and women do this. They come up to me and they like, I'm in the gym and they're like, oh, I want to work out, I want to do this, but I don't want to look like her. Okay, you won't. Don't worry about that.
Right, you're gonna look like
if you yeah, you're gonna look like you. It probably took her 10 years to do
get
that.
like that.
Right.
Right.
And you just started out 3 weeks ago. Don't worry about it.
Right.
If you lift weights and you do curls or something, or you start doing squats, you probably gonna develop a little piece of muscle. That's
And
it.
you still gonna, it's still gonna be underneath.
It's gonna
that.
be underneath all that. So don't even worry about that part of it. So, but yeah, it's a lifestyle change completely. And I'm glad to be able to share this with you guys and share Marni's story and everything like that. And share my friend. I mean, goodness. I mean, we don't talk a lot, but when we see each other, we smile, we look at each other, and we're like, man, we've come a long way.
Do people still call you Lil John?
Oh my goodness.
I'm
They do.
sorry, I just
No, they
wanna
do.
know.
Well, my dad was John. Yes, for everybody that don't know, my dad's name was John, and I've been Lil John for I'm still Lil John, so I'm whatever. But no, they call me John. They
Okay.
do. But I still answer.
I call you John now.
Yeah.
I haven't called you Lil John since probably, I don't know. I probably called, it's probably when was talking about you, be like,
Right.
Lil John.
Because that's how people know
Yeah,
me. Yeah,
yeah.
right. Yeah, so they do. They still call me Lil John. I walk into the house with all my family, it's Lil John or something like
Oh,
that.
wow.
Or, they got other nicknames for
Yeah.
me too that I'm not going to say on camera. Y'all cut it out. But yeah. But no, Marni, I really appreciate you coming on and sharing your story with us, talking to us about cannabis, about eating healthy, talking to us about your businesses. You guys, y'all have to go and visit. If y'all have not been, Marni, tell them where you are and tell them where they can find you and tell them how they can get in touch with you.
Okay, well, we are literally both of our stores, we call them sister stores, are
Yeah.
on the same complex lot. One is 3014 North 9th Avenue. That's the Tea House. That's Asher and B. That's the Apothecary. And then the grocery store and the cafe are all one. And they're at 3002 North 9th Avenue, literally 3 doors down from each other.
Right.
You can park in the parking lot, walk from one to the other. We also have websites. It's asherandb.com and thebusybeemercantile.com. So
Yeah.
they can shop there, sign up for our meal prep service.
Yeah, I saw
Get
that.
elderberry from Asher and B.
Man, you need that
pick up,
elderberry to stay healthy
all kinds of
nowadays.
stuff.
I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah.
I love it. Well, you guys, I do appreciate you guys tuning in with us tonight. We were sipping on a little something and talking. It's just like we were catching up. That's pretty much what we do here. So you guys tune in and come down, visit Casks Flights. We got a lot of new things going on. We have a Mad Violinist coming up here on the 20th. Gallery nights this weekend. So if you want to get out and do some things, just keep it, come see us. 21st, I'm sorry. Mad Violinist on the 21st.
I've heard him. He's great.
Yeah. So we're excited about that. Just getting back into some live music and stuff.
Yeah.
So you guys, y'all tune in, like us on Facebook, tune into our YouTube channel. And, we're going to keep giving it to you guys. So we'll see you guys here next week.